Welcome to ppc Live UK number 4, first one of the year. I am so grateful, so humbled, so many things, excited to see everyone showing up. A special thanks despite the train nightmares that has been happening. And just to get ahead of that, one of our speakers unfortunately did get stuck in Bournemouth, but hey, even from past feedback, people have said 4 may be a bit much. So all 3 of our speakers, the rest of our 3 speakers are here. Please already give them a round of applause. They've been amazing so far. Showing up early, one of them is going to stay overnight, just to make sure everything is going to go well. So I am so grateful. And grateful to you guys and everybody that has shown up here. And I hope you enjoyed this evening. And definitely a special thanks to our sponsor, Ad3. And I'm now going to have, were you ready to come up now, James? Yeah? Good, yeah, we're going to please welcome James to the stage, our sponsor. It's not going to be a sales thing, it's literally just to him to introduce what the company do and why they thought this event is important to support. Welcome, James.
Couple of things about me and us. So my name is James Hamlin. So lived in the city for many, many years. And what I would say is, I used to go to a lot of PPC events back in the days, or the pre-COVID stuff. They weren't like this, right? And post-COVID, trying to go to these types of events, I saw what Annie was doing, and I went to the last one, and I was blown away. Not only the kind of the audience, but the participation, but ultimately what was on offer. It didn't used to be like this, right? Other industries SEO industries would have more of their thing, but the PPC was a lot more corporate and didn't have this diversity, the quality of speakers, so I was blown away. So really wanted to get involved from a messaging perspective, and one of the reasons that was is, so Ad3 is this business here, so I'm here with a couple of colleagues as well, Tim and Adrian over here. So look, just talk a little bit about Ad3 quickly. So we're an agency that's based in Seattle in the United States. We offer these services, as you'll see on this banner, not only paid search, but paid social, programmatic, SEO, all these types of things. And look, really interesting for us to be here and be part of this. So we're coming over, and these gentlemen have come all the way from Seattle for this and some other stuff, or maybe for this, I'm not sure. And we're talking to more and more brands and working with more and more brands here in the UK that want to do much more business in the United States, right? And paid search is one of the ways that is enabling to them to do that, right? So we work with a number of brands. YouGov are based in the UK. We help them grow in the US by doing that as well. We work with Morphe on the cosmetic side. Amazon, we're from Seattle, you'd expect that. So really interested to just kind of learn some more, speak to some of you folks as well, and just kind of learn more about what's happening in this city. From what I can tell, events like this is vibrant. So yeah, just absolutely delighted to be here. It's a real privilege. Can't wait to the speech. And let's have a drink and I'll speak to you later. That's it. Thanks.
Hi everyone. We don't have a clicker, so apologies that things might not go as quick, but bear with us. So I'm going to have to look at you to click it.
Sure.
So hi there, my name is Sophie Logan. I'm head of paid media at Victress Digital, based up in Nottingham. And today I'm going to talk to you about Microsoft's Audience Network. It's not going to be smooth, but I'll try. So this is what I'm going to talk to you today. This is my agenda. But I'm going to be upfront. The purpose of this talk is just to make Microsoft's Audience Network make sense. When I started looking into it, the information isn't out there. I love Microsoft, anybody who works for them, I really do. But they're a bit crap at telling you what they actually do, about their features, about their platform. Their information guides aren't great. So I'm really going to try and break things down today and make it simple, because actually it's not as complex as it does appear on their websites. So the first question is, what is the Microsoft Audience Network? So this is how they describe it, and I have to read it because it's a tongue twister. Drive highly personalized engagements with your ideal customers powered by Microsoft AI. What does that mean, Microsoft? What are you trying to tell us? Basically, you can use it to take text, image, video, or feed-based content and create an ad, stick it out there with specific targeting based on your target audience. And their portfolio includes Outlook, MSN, Edge, and some premium placements such as CBS Sport. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, basically it's Microsoft's version of Google Display Network. This is how I like to describe it. Sophie's words, so if you use them, they're from me. Reach our target audience with text, image, or video ads as they explore the internet and Microsoft-owned platforms by running an audience ads campaign. Yeah, so I don't like to compare Google to Microsoft all the time because, you know, it's really easily done, it's an easy win. But basically that is what it is. It's Microsoft's version of Google Display Network. So please forgive me if I mix my terminology up because I live in Google and it's just taking time to move over. The difference and what I like the most about it is the fact that we're actually using Microsoft's portfolio. I kind of forget how big Microsoft actually is. I forget that they do Xbox, that always slips my mind. But we've got Bing, we've got Edge, we've got Microsoft. We've got so much out there. And obviously, we all know how the world works. They're getting their data from these places. Microsoft say that they can reach over 1 billion people through their portfolio. So if you're not using it, you are missing out on that side. You're doing well at this, thank you. So why do I think it's important? Oh, sorry. We're doing like a duo thing. Microsoft described it in this way in one of their webinars, and I loved it. 2 networks, 1 powerful result. Simple. When we talk about Google, we always think about, oh, thank you very much. We always think about using Google Display along with search, don't we? We don't really think of it twice, really. It comes in a package. But we don't seem to do that when it comes to Microsoft. Oh, I'm skipping. Here we go. We all know how to use Microsoft advertising for search. We use it all the time, pretty much. That's our bread and butter. We know we can reach people lower down the funnel through this way. All my examples will always be dogs. But what about the rest of the time? What about the rest of the time when they're on the internet? What about when they're reading news? What happens when they're looking at sports results? Or what happens when they're reading emails? Why aren't we looking to reach them then? As we move away from keywords, let's be honest, we all know where it's going to go. We need to make sure that we're going out to reach our target audience, where they are, when they're on there, and with messages and ads that they want to see. We can't be lazy about it anymore. We can't wait until they come to find us on search. We need to warm them up. We need to build up that brand awareness. We need to work on that consideration. And this is one way that you can do it. Yes, there's the Google Display Network, but there is another option out there as well. The way I like to look at display and how it works for me, spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know any of my stuff, I only work with B2B lead gen, so the most boring stuff out there. Display for me works really well with building up those audiences in terms of awareness, and I just like to call it warming them up a little bit. And I seem to reap the benefits more further down the line than immediately as I would with search. Microsoft did a little study on this to see how their audience network impacted engagement. This is according to them. There is a study, I can send it you if you want. People who had seen an audience ads were 3 times more likely to search for a brand, 4 times more likely to actually visit a website, and most important to most of us out here, they were 5.5 more times likely to make a purchase. Sounds great. But let's be honest, we don't trust all these big, nice, fancy studies that places do we? This is an example for one of my clients, so this is a very realistic and open, I'll be honest with you how it went. This client, client X, because I don't want to give them away, Microsoft is just something to get some extra leads. It's not a main driver. They don't really think about it. There's not much budget on there. It just keeps things ticking along. But in November last year, I decided to start working on an audience ads campaign for them because I wanted to try something new, to be honest. And this is the results that I saw. So, this is only for a brand campaign. This is not anything to do with the audience ads campaign itself. You can see that nice line here where I'm adding in the ads campaign. And this is what happened to the click-through rate. it was pretty immediate. What you'll see next wasn't immediate, but it was pretty immediate for me. I started to see people were searching for their brand more, and not only were they searching for their brand more, they were actually clicking on the ads. My personal perspective of this is that people had been warmed up, they knew about the brand, and they were searching for them. Conversion rate, which is what we all want to know further down the line, not as quick. As you can see, I'm really only starting to see traction now as we're moving into February, which is scary. So the traction wasn't as quick, but again, I've started to see more conversion rate as I'm going further down the line. Again, my personal feeling is that people are more warmed up to the brand, the people with the right interest, the right intent, are now coming to the brand campaigns because they've seen the brand already. Now, I am a very skeptical person by nature. If you know me, I'm not all singing and bells. So I'll be honest, it could be a massive coincidence. The stars might be aligning for me. I know that I haven't spent any more budget. I haven't done there's nothing on the website. The brand hasn't changed. I haven't done anything else on the account. It's the only thing that I can attribute the change to. Has it made these businesses a ton of money overnight? Are they ready to click off Google and never advertise on it again? Absolutely not. However, the incremental changes is what I'm looking for, and in an investment as small as I put in, I've seen the benefits. So I'm going to very quickly run through how to make one, which may sound really obvious, but I'm going to tell you it anyway and give you some of my tips as I've gone through. But I'm going to start, because I even forgot that this was in there. It all sounds great, but unfortunately you're probably actually already advertising on the audience network because it's set up on there by default. Yeah, sneaky. I love Microsoft, I really advocate for them, but this is again kind of like Google when they put display in there or optimized targeting or the search network. It's a sneaky setting, and it means that a lot of accounts that I take over or audit are accidentally already advertising on there. This was one of my clients. This is the beginning of last year. It's $400. It's a click-through rate, to be honest, it's not too bad. It was 0.33. But the problem is, I had created that campaign as a search campaign. It was only text assets. The budget, I wanted it to go on the search network. The targeting, the optimizations, everything I had done was meant for the search campaign. It wasn't meant to be made a display campaign. So if you only take one thing away from my talk today, it's this. I will show you where that setting is, so please double check that you've got it set up according to what you need. This is the path, campaign settings, advanced campaign settings, other settings. Oh, sneaky. And this is what it looks like. It's tiny. And this is what I mean about Microsoft being quite hidden with their information. It was quite hidden, but that's the path that you want to take, and this is what it looks like. All you have to do is decrease it by 100%, and that will stop it completely. Okay? So, this is another sneaky, that's my word for today. If you are actually opting out of this via ad group bid modifiers, as pointed out by Brett last year, in September, that option went. So if this is something that you changed last year and you think, oh, I'm okay, unfortunately, probably not. Go back and check, because the things had changed and it was just a little email or a little notification in your account. So please, this goes with every setting and all these changes. Double, triple, quadruple check. Do it tomorrow, it'll take 5 minutes, but it could mean that you save yourself a lot of money. That's my TED talk on that one. And the reason why I'm saying to do that is that if you want to advertise on the network, then we can make a campaign specific for that. We can make sure that the assets that we are using are made for that network. They're not taking our ads, our search ads, and making a display ad out of it. We can give it a tiny budget so we can test. And we can also look at the results and the optimizations differently as well, which I'll talk about near the end. I'm talking to you like children, but I'm going to go through the steps anyway. Look at what we've got now. This is a separate section here, is our audience ads campaign. That is what we're clicking. Budget, name, very self-explanatory. However, I struggle with Microsoft in terms of reading things clearly. So I like to add that it's an audience ad in its name to make it very simple for me. If you try it yourself, you'll see what I mean. The fun part comes in when we're looking at targeting options. If you like display, if you don't like display, you probably think that this is the worst part, but this is the fun part for me. This is where we can use all of the different audience options out there to hit our right audience. You can layer them, so it doesn't just have to be one, it can't, it doesn't have to just be age or gender. We've got lots of options available. Our typical ones, location, age, gender. We've also got a ton of audience lists that we can use, audience options. And my favorite thing about Microsoft, especially for B2B, is we've got LinkedIn profile targeting, and that can be used on this network as well. So you can target by company, industry, and job function. Not checked it out yet, definitely check it out. And you can also add exclusions. So again, just really drilling down into what we need in that audience. This is my personal little strategy that I use when I'm coming into an account. If you don't think you like it, that's fine, but just in case you're stuck on where to start, this is where I start. I have an ad group, which is all remarketing. I have an ad group, which is similar audiences. I know similar audiences are going to go on Google, and they're probably going to go on Microsoft as well, but as a B2B lead gen, I am going to make the most of it as much as possible, so I definitely include one of those. And then I include a in-market audience, but only if it is suitable for your client. On top of that, I include location targeting, because I don't want to go in worldwide, because again, it'll go worldwide if you don't do that. And then I exclude all my current customers from seeing my ads as well. Homing down, making sure I'm reaching the right people. Another tongue twister, when it comes to making your ad, it is not an RDA or responsive display ad, it is a multimedia ad. But I'm probably going to slip up and call it a responsive display ad because that's what's drilled in my head. I'm not going to go through each individual thing on how to make a responsive display ad / multimedia ad. There's plenty of information out there on what to do in terms of making one. If you've never made one before in Google or Microsoft, then make sure that you take your time to research it, really understand the individual nitty-gritty details about this ad format. I could talk through it for about 2 hours, that's why I'm not going to go through it today. If you want to talk about it, you can find me later. My biggest takeaway with your multimedia ad, responsive display ad, anything, this is what I said at HeroConf last year. Take your time when you are on this part, don't rush it. The more effort you put into your ads, I truly believe the better they will be. You put crap in, you're going to get crap out. Because at the end of the day, if you're giving Microsoft bad assets, bad images, bad text, you're not really put the effort in, then how's it going to make a great ad? You're asking a machine to do something and you're not feeding it what it needs. So take your time. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about this if you want to know a little bit more. But next options, again, look at nice and simple. We're looking at bid strategy options. Not many options available at the moment. I'm going to say, go whatever you're comfortable with. I'll be honest, I'm using manual CPC at the moment. When I'm happy with them, I'll switch to manual CPM, but right now I'm happy to use manual. Don't need to make it any more complex than it needs to be. I'm a very honest person, and one of the most disappointing things about the audience ads campaign at the moment is there is no asset report. This is the same in Google Ads with the Google Display Network. We don't have an RDA asset report. I know we can see best, good, or low, but what is good, best, low? What conversions were they doing? What is the ranking of that? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but my recommendation and how I optimize these campaigns is I use my best judgment. I shouldn't be saying that. It goes against everything, we're all data. But at the moment, is it worth not using simply because there's not an asset report? No. You might as well get using it now. Get used to it, give it a go, see how it goes. There's always things you can do. You can always work on your remarketing list. You can always work on your targeting. But at the moment, as the same with Google, that option isn't there at the moment. Fingers crossed, maybe Christmas for a present for us all. And finally, when it comes to evaluating the performance, and this is me being honest with you again, this is not going to make your company a ton of money. This is not going to be your biggest lead generation. If it is, I'll be very happy for you and tell me more about it. But what you want to look for more is the incremental changes across your search campaign, especially your brand. Are people interested in you more? Are they searching for you more? As with you saw with mine, is click-through rate gone up? Has conversion rate gone up, a month or two further down the line? Ideal goal will always be to get direct conversion through one of these ads. And I have started to see it, and it makes me very excited, and they're really cheap. But again, as I said, it's not going to be where you're getting your main conversions from. It's we're thinking about not just that low-hanging fruit, it's kind of going up further, reaching people before they even know that they need your company. I didn't add this in here because I've not done them. I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't know. There is video ads on there available now. I thought I'd mention it because I know everyone's into video at the moment. So if you have got good video content, there is the option for you to use that as well. In summary, again, my definition is what I'm going to say you use when we go for it. You're going to reach your target audience with text, image, or video as they explore the internet and Microsoft-owned properties. You're all going to go back to your office tomorrow. You're going to definitely make sure you opt out. Even if you don't want to, you just opt out. Just do it. The reason I say to make a specific campaign to hit this network is that you want to target the right audience. You want the right assets. You want the right optimization. It's two separate things. Don't let them bully you into it all being in one. My final thoughts on Microsoft advertising audience network. See, it's just a tongue twister in Microsoft. If you are using Google Ads and you have done search and display and you're kind of bored, or you're already using Microsoft and you're using it for search and shopping, and again, you're kind of bored, or like my clients, they want maximum brand awareness but they don't really want to spend any money, then this is something that you should definitely look into, definitely explore and see how it works for you. I've started with £2 a day budgets. The maximum I'm spending on one client is £5 a day. Do not go in there throwing £25, £30. Start small, see how it goes. If it works for you 3 months down the line, then expand it. But if not, you can just step back. You can reduce your budget or just stop it completely. But for me, as I said, cheap awareness, reaching people at the top of the funnel, not just that low-hanging fruit. This has been a really valuable network to use. It's just really unfortunate that Microsoft make it sound so much more confusing than it actually is. So thank you. If you ever want to talk about Microsoft or anything, then find me online or I'll be hanging around. Thank you.
We are very way ahead of time. There is time for questions. Does anyone please have questions for Sophie? We've got time for like 4 or 5 or 6.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
I should wait till the panel. Be like, yeah, it's.
Hi, thank you so much for presenting that. I just had a question, which was I'm wondering whether does the the Google Display Network cover already maybe some of the Microsoft properties that they have, or like is the inventory overlapping at any point at all?
My understanding is always that when we're talking about the Microsoft-owned properties, it's theirs. I'm not necessarily sure if like CBS News or Fox Business is on there, but I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know on that one, but I would imagine that because it's a Microsoft-owned thing, they wouldn't let you go on Google. I can't say that in any placement reports I've seen anything Microsoft under there. So I'm not going to say I'm guaranteed, but I would imagine not. Why would Microsoft give it away to Google?
I was just thinking whether they might be reselling the inventory to
Like a
Google.
crossover.
Yeah, or something like that.
Microsoft are a lot tighter on their rules and regulations than the Google Display Network, and again that's another reason I started to explore it, because I'm not happy with Google Display Network at the moment. I get so much crap. Again, because we've not got the visibility that you do over in Microsoft, maybe I am seeing more crap, but in terms of overall performance, the higher level figures is what I'm looking at, and I'm seeing better on there now.
Cool. Thank you.
Any more questions? Yeah, 2 of them.
On the ad group structure that you explained earlier with the audiences, have you seen any success with LinkedIn audiences like company size and title and all that? And also, do you structure a different separate ad group for that, or do you blend it with, I don't know, your in-market or whatever?
I'm going to use the microphone because otherwise I'll lose my voice. Thank you. So when it comes to Microsoft Audience, the LinkedIn profile targeting, it's not every category that's available on LinkedIn. So for my clients, I work a lot with SaaS brands. I need really detailed stuff. So unfortunately for me, it's not detailed enough to target it individually. You guys, you know, if you work in fashion, then there is a fashion target, so it may work perfectly for you. When I use it for the audience ads, I add it as an extra layer. I don't use it as an individual ad group. So what I'd say is look through what the options are available, see if they match up with your company or your clients, and make a judgment from there. If it's very broad, I'd still swerve it. Either use it as an additional layer in, but don't just rely on it specifically. Like I said, for SaaS, you know, it says technology industry. Well, we'll probably all be classed as the technology industry. It's not homed in enough just yet for me able to use it specifically on its own, but it's a great way to layer it on top. You're welcome.
Liam, do you need a microphone? There we go.
Thanks, Sophie, I love that. Taking you back to familiar Google brand, I think you set yourself up for this one. You said you're getting a lot of crap at the moment. Do you have any top tips for avoiding crap on Google Display Network?
Avoid it. I mean, that whole new update came out yesterday. We all got an email about content placement and stuff, and to be honest, I've not looked into it because I was thinking about it today. I've tried to start to move my clients over to targeted placements only. Unfortunately, that is taking me a hell of a long time to build up a substantial enough list to be able to switch it over. It's worked for some of my clients because some of them are really great and they can say, I like this forum, I like this company, I like this, and I can go, yeah, quickly, I'm starting to build my list. But what I'm doing at the moment is going through the placements, seeing where the top conversions have been, and I'm slowly but surely making a target-only list because you just can't control it. I really feel like we're all going to move towards that way, unfortunately. So that is what I'm doing. It's laborious, honestly. It's one of those things I do once a month, but I think the value is there in the end.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, I'll let you go, Sophie. Thank you so much. Give her one more round of applause.